Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Godbreaker. The man who rules the world takes on the Asgardian god of thunder in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes, Godbreaker in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. It's been a while since I've done a comic review video. And the reason why I haven't been able to do comic review videos is because, one, I was working on editing John Haynes' Godbreaker, the first book of the 2023 SJS Direct catalog, and I was also working on a lot of videos that people requested as related to other series, such as the historical Men and Women in Crisis, and the Hollywood historical Men and Women in Crisis. And over that time, I have been really busy working on these projects and John Haynes' 1987, and over the course of the last couple of months, all of the books that I have put in pledges for on different crowdfunding projects have started to come in. I mean, I've got a copy of Sister Mercy number 7. I think I did a review of that one. I've got a copy of Konkret Comics' new Luna comic I haven't done a review on yet. I've got a copy of Richard Green number 1 that I wanted to do a review of for months ago that I haven't been able to get a do at the time to record it. And I recently got Greg Burnham's Story of Solace, so I've got a lot of comics that I want to do reviews of. But the one that I've had the longest is Tenoch, God of Fire, number 2. Now, Tenoch, God of Fire is an awesome comic that really reminds me a lot of the Mighty Thor from Marvel Comics. However, this God of Fire is based on the old Aztec mythology, and this series has been absolutely fantastic. I've absolutely loved the first issue of Tenoch, God of Fire, and I really enjoyed this second issue of Tenoch, God of Fire, which really does a great job of building on the story established in the first issue of Tenoch, God of Fire. And this second issue takes us into the mission that Tenoch is sent on by the mythical woman who wants to go out here and help Tenoch allegedly go out and restore the great era of the Aztec gods. Now, it opens up with a great sequence with this explosion at this church, and this sequence really just shows that Tenoch is a guy who takes no crap, because he goes into this church looking for a weapon and as related to his mission. And I love this sequence because, again, it just opens up really strong with this half splash, and then we get into the Tenoch being knocked out of this place, and we start to see the big confrontation. And this double wide splash, this double page spread, reminds me a lot of those old great Marvel comics, which Stan Lee and Jack Kirby did for the Mighty Thor. We see Thor facing off against one of his great adversaries, like the Destroyer. And this guy, this angel or knight, what it looks like, it reminds me a lot of the Destroyer. And it looks like Tenoch is ready to face off against him like the Mighty Thor in an old Marvel comic. Just absolutely fantastic setup for a great sequence using the least amount of pages. I mean, in 3 pages, we are right into the action, and that's what a good comic does. A good comic, again, takes you into the first page, which opens up, establishes the action, opens up the sequence, and then gives you a story that just makes you care. Again, introduces us, main character, what they want, the obstacle in their way, and why we should care in less than 3 pages. Well-written story right here, I believe by Daniel Calvo. And again, opens up, and then we get the reason for why Tenoch is in action as related to the action going on. So he's been sent by this goddess to go get this dagger from this church, and he is looking to go back to restoring the greatness as his original title of the God of War. So he's on a mission looking to do something noble not understanding that there may be a little bit of a twist and a turn as related to this story. So we get to see Tenoch in action against this Guardian in a very fast-paced fight, very well done, very well paced. We see the action moving in a very dynamic fashion, and I really like the way this is done here because, again, you can just easily follow the action, and in less than about 3 or 4 pages, we are into this fight, and the fight is over. And as the fight ends, we start to see Tenoch realizing that his actions have an impact on people, and he starts to become remorseful and realizes that there's a line that he does not cross as related to people. While he wants to get back to the greatness of his past, he understands that he cannot be harming people today. So we see that Tenoch is still got some heroic traits to himself, and there's a line that he won't cross, and it's that line that he won't cross that makes him a hero. Now, there's a major twist as related to this story, and I don't really want to give away too much of this story because I don't want to go out here and spoil the story for those who want to go out here and pick up their own copy of Tenoch, God of Fire. No, I don't want to spoil the story for this comic, and that's why I'm just not gonna go out here and read anymore. But because I look at the work that Daniel Calvo and Serge De Lima have done here in Matthias Hugh, and again, all the talent here has just done a fantastic job, and Derek Lonzo Starr is leading a really good team. And I look at the work at Konkret Comics, and again, this was one of the second wave books of the Konkret universe, and this book is a rock solid book. I mean, when I was reading this Tenoch, God of Fire the first time, I was just really excited about it, and I got a chance to read it again, and it, again, took me back to the 1980s and the newsstand and all of the great Marvel comics that were on the shelf, and I believe if this comic were in a comic shop, I definitely would pick it up, because when I look at this book and I look at the cover, again, strong image of a very powerful warrior, wielding his blazing sword, reminding me a lot of Voltron. It's like, because I see the lion on his arm, it's reminding me a lot of Voltron. But he's strong, he's confident, he's powerful. And again, when I went into the pages, first 3 pages, I mean, just instant action. And just gets right to the point. This is a book that basically sold itself to me and was well worth the purchase price of that I spent on the Kickstarter to pick it up. Now, I definitely want to pick up Tenoch, God of Fire, number 3, because this is this book that concludes the entire story arc, and I'm eager to go pick up that 3rd issue of Tenoch, God of Fire. I'm just counting down the days to the launch of the Kickstarter because I can't wait to see how this awesome story concludes. I can't wait to see what happens to Tenoch after the big swerve that I don't want to reveal, because again, I don't want to spoil the hard work of many of these great independent comic artists at Konkret Comics. No, this book is too good to spoil, and I want you guys to go out here and support this great book, Tenoch, at Konkret Comics, because a lot of these independent brothers and sisters are putting together fantastic comics, and they can only do that if you guys go out here and pick up their books. So that's one of the things that I want people to do, because I highly recommend you pick up Tenoch, God of Fire number 2. I highly recommend you get this book because this was one of the best books of 2022, and it was just an absolutely well done comic, just well crafted and well put together, because in less than 22 pages you are in the story and you're anticipating picking up the next issue in the story arc. So this whole arc ends with number 3, and I can't wait until number 3 drops, because I want to see how Tenoch overcomes this threat that has been put to him as related to this swerve. So I really want you guys again to pick up that 2nd and 1st issue, which you can find on KonkretComics.com, the website that is the official site of Konkret Comics. You can find that book on Konkret Comics, the 1st issue and the 2nd issue right now, in paper and digital format, and you will not be disappointed by this series. It is one of the best books I've read so far, and again, I wish The Mighty Thor was still this good, because this book captures the heart and the spirit of everything as related to the way Marvel used to do Thor. But I look at Tenoch and I look at it as a great series, and I can't wait to see more of this god in action. Now, again, you can pick up your copy of Tenoch, God of Fire on KonkretComics.com, and you can head over to Amazon.com to pick up John Haynes' Godbreaker, which is the latest book in the John Haynes series, and that book is available in paperback right now, and you'll be able to get your Kindle version on March 31st. And you can also pick up the previous book in the John Haynes series, John Haynes at Death's Door, in paperback and Kindle format. And if you want to get the comic book version of John Haynes at Death's Door, you can also get that book on Lulu.com in paperback right there. And you can also pick up the other 2022 books in the SJS Direct imprint, Isis Legacy and Eastdeem Horror of the Hyena Woman. All of these books are available in paperback and Kindle format on Amazon.com, and you can also find them at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available on Lulu, John Haynes at Death's Door. The man who rules the world takes on the Greek god of death in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes comic book. Get your copy of the first John Haynes comic at Lulu.com today.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, Eastdeem Horror of the Hyena Woman. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a wicked werewolf in this action-packed, all-new Eastdeem series adventure. Get Eastdeem Horror of the Hyena Woman in paperback and e-readers today.